Thank you. Thank you. Because now we're going to hear from Navy veteran Will and his service dog Bob for our keynote speech. Will?
Good evening. Before I start my speech, for all us warriors in here and veterans, I just want to make sure that the K9 staff and everybody that's involved with K9s understands how amazing this program is. We're very thankful for being a part of our lives. And so I just want to thank the K9 staff that kind of put this evening on and kind of give them a round of applause. Now my part. Good evening. My name is Will Garby, and it's an honor to be here with you tonight. Standing beside me, or laying down beside me, is my service dog, Bob. Bob is my partner, my stabilizer, my early warning system, and my daily reminder that healing goes both ways. I want to begin with a personal thank you. The incredible woman you saw in the video, my mom is here with us tonight. Mom, thank you for always believing in me across every chapter, including the hard ones. My mom never stopped standing watch, even when a child wears the uniform. I served in the United States Navy for 26 years. Beat Army, yep, we do that a lot. I chose to defend this country because I believe deeply in service, in responsibility, and in being part of something larger than myself. I wanted a purpose that mattered. I wanted to stand in the gap where protection was required, and I wanted to earn the title of someone others could rely on. Navy life gave me many experiences I would never have had otherwise. I saw parts of the world that changed my perspective forever. I worked in high responsibility roles where getting the details right was critical and complacency was dangerous. I worked in high stakes environments where teamwork wasn't optional, it was survival. What I loved most was the clear mission. You know your role, you know your team, you know the objective. Every day has direction. The greatest challenge was the sacrifices that came with it. Times away from family, missed birthdays, missed holidays, long stretches where the people you love most were just voices on the phone. Or we didn't even have email when I started. We had paper, snail mail. That took about 4 months to get home. And the hardest weight of all was losing our brothers and sisters along the way, knowing that leadership comes with a painful truth. You cannot always bring everyone home. That stays with you. For 26 years, the Navy gave me structure, identity, and purpose. And then one day, I hung up the uniform. People thank you. They shake your hand. They say congratulations. What you do not see is what happens next. Transition into civilian world is not a ceremony. It is a shock to the system. You go from a world of rank, role, and a rhythm to a world that feels unstructured and unfamiliar. The mission disappears overnight. The support net spreads out. The pace changes, and silence gets louder. Here's the difference between what people see and what they do not. People see a veteran who looks composed, capable, and functional. They do not see the battle in their mind. Their hyper alertness, their sleep deprivation, their emotional distance, that feeling that your internal compass just lost north. There was a stretch of time before the Navy when things, after the Navy, it wasn't that bad before, when things got really dark for me. Every morning I would wake up, I'd take my 2 daughters to school, I'd smile, I'd encourage them, and tell them to have a great day. I looked like a normal functioning dad. Then I would drive home, walk into my bedroom closet, close the door, sit in the dark, wearing sunglasses, and lie there alone. I blocked out every line of light, no sound, no motion, just isolation. The closet is where I hid from the overload in my mind. Everyone around me thought I was okay. That is how invisible struggles works. It wears a normal face in public. I tried other paths first: medication, counseling, different coping strategies. Some help a little. None reached deep enough. Nothing restored function and confidence in my life. The origin story for Bob started in a very ordinary place. I was picking up mental health medication and saw another veteran with a service dog. I asked a few questions. I learned about the program, and something said in me, take the step. Even though it terrified me, I knew I had to. So I applied that same night without talking to anyone. That application was a leap of faith. When my training date came, I traveled to San Antonio, Texas. I carried both hope and grief. 1 week before leaving, I had to say goodbye to my own pet golden retriever. My longtime companion, losing him hurt more than I expected. The house felt quieter and heavier without him. Then came pairing day, or K9s like to call it, dog day. And the traders had us standing facing away while they brought my service dog into the yard. What's great is they study every veteran. They study us very carefully. Your life, your routine. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Your family, your goals, what you want to get back. These pairings are built with intention, not chance. They told me to turn around, and I saw Bob. Another golden retriever standing there, steady, full of energy, but also a sense of calm. The timing hit me like a wave. It felt surreal. I dropped to my knees, not out of weakness, but recognition. My guard came down in an instant. Bob stepped forward like he had already chosen the assignment. That was the moment the temperature of the world changed. The first 3 weeks of training at the ranch were powerful. Being surrounded by other veterans on a similar path created instant understanding. No explanation needed, no translation required, just shared experiences and forward movement. We trained every day, commands, positioning, public access. By the way, going to the San Antonio River Walk after just getting your service dog, yeah, a little overwhelming. But I had Bob. It was about task work, trust building, and repetition. Structure turned to my days, but this time with a leash in my hand and a heartbeat at my side. When did I know Bob was truly helping me? not in one dramatic moment, in many small ones. The first time I walked into a crowded space and stayed. The first time my stress spiked, but got interrupted before it took over. The first time I realized I was scanning Bob instead of scanning threats. The first time an outing with my daughters felt joyful instead of overwhelming. Impact shows up in inches before it will show up in miles. Since Bob came into my life, I attend my daughter's dance classes and competitions. I sit in roaring crowds that once would have set me straight back to the car. Noise that once felt like pressure now feels like celebration. And because of, I'm not alone in facing that. Here's the beautiful sympathy in this story. I'm a veteran who was saved through partnership. Bob is a dog who was rescued from the Canadian wildfires and was given purpose. My family has been restored through stability and presence, saving veterans, rescuing dogs, restoring families. This is not branding. This is a lived reality. Right now, after 15 years of this program's work, I am one of a small group of warriors who get to tell their story like this, one of 1,200 voices carrying proof that this program works. Because of the people in this room, that number will grow. More veterans will step out of the dark and back into life. More dogs will move from danger into purpose. More families will feel wholesome and return to their homes. You are not just attending a gala tonight. You're extending missions of recovery that continue long after this evening ends, including my own. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for believing in the life-saving bond between a veteran like me and a service dog like Bob as a path to healing. Thank you for helping write more stories where no veteran ever walks alone again. Thank you very much.